the swamp, Texas comes in, ranked 9th in the country. Tough defense for Arch Manning to try to go up against. They've been struggling. You look at the weekend menu brought to you by Jimmy John's. Keep an eye on that Kentucky-Georgia game. Since Kirby Smart has been there, 3 of their lowest scoring games among 5 in wins, all against Kentucky. We got some other great ones too, including that primetime game between Mississippi State and Texas A&M, Desmond, where one of the top receivers for A&M, Mario Craver's a Mississippi State transfer. He's been sensational.
I love watching Mario Craver and Casey Concepcion, who came from NC State. These 2 transfers, they've been outstanding for the Aggies. These guys are excellent with the ball in their hands. They can get behind the defense. And if a defense wants to try to take either or both of those guys away, that means you have to bring another guy out of the box. And they have running back Le'Veon Moss, who averages 5 yards a carry. So I think their level of play is very sustainable. I really do like the Aggies' offense.
Yeah, and I think their defense, Mike Elko, when we played against them, it was always a problem, especially on 3rd and 5+. If you can't stay ahead of the sticks and they get their third down stuff in there the way they pressure, you are in trouble. I remember drawing stuff up on the sidelines every time we played against them, trying to figure out how to block their pressures.
Well, their pressures are good, but going into last week, their defense wasn't that great. It wasn't a normal Elko defense. It wasn't good against the run, and they were giving up a lot of points. Then they beat Auburn 16-10, and it's like, well, it's not a big-time blowout, but their defense showed up. They're going to have to be able to stop the run against this Mississippi State team. Fluff Bothwell, I believe is his name. One of the greatest names I've ever heard. He's going off, 120-some yards, 2 touchdowns last week. They're averaging 200 yards on the ground. It's like Texas A&M is going to have to stop the run, which is an Elko thing. This might get a little dangerous for this Texas A&M.
But remember, the only time Mississippi State's really, or the only time that we've seen them go on the road is Southern Miss. And now you're going to Kyle Field, different deal. I'm with you guys. A&M feels more complete. Second year with Mike Elko. Defense that you talk about, Coach, that's what he's known for. But Colin Klein, the offensive coordinator, had an entire offseason to build this offense around Marcel Reed and his skill set. Last year he came in. It was a different story. Whole offseason, running the football. I think Marcel Reed's throwing the ball a lot better, too. So it's a tough matchup for Mississippi State.
Still scuffling a little bit down the field.
Yeah, Marcel's going 300 yards a game. I mean, he is special. We're talking maybe Heisman. They continue to run this entire thing.
Yeah, no question about it. They're one of the stories of the early part of the season, Steve.
Yeah, A&M is up there. When you look at the AP poll, the top-ranked SEC teams, Ole Miss, Oklahoma.
Who?
A&M.
Amen.
And then we look at the preseason, Georgia, Alabama, Texas. They're not there. A&M's got a huge chance to be at that top of the level. And their track, you can see a path to Atlanta for them, for sure.
And Elko's sick of the questions being so negative down there.
Yeah.
Well, top 10. What are we doing?
Awesome. You know what else they're doing today? They're in all black uniforms. Even the guys in the white suits, the yell leaders, all black. They're 3-0 in all black.
You got the yell leaders in all black.
That's right. Wow. Texas is 0-1 on the road. Texas headed to the swamp to take on the Gators. Now, Pat, you've talked a lot about the Texas offense, and Texas hasn't exactly played, other than Ohio State, anybody that's any good. They haven't beaten a team that has more than one win against FBS competition up to this point.
And it hasn't really looked pretty. You're talking about Sam Houston State there, no wins. It was 55-0. And after the 55-0 game, you would think that, maybe stats and rankings would change for their offense. When was the last time you think Sarkisian had the 55th ranked points per game offense, 103rd ranked third down offense, 109th ranked red zone scoring offense? I mean, that is just abnormal numbers for Sarkisian, let alone Arch Manning and everything we thought about. Today could be a big breakthrough game for them, but also this Florida team won't back down. And that place is going to be electrifying for this game that we thought maybe game day was going to be at before the season. DJ Lagway and Arch. We'll see if Texas is able to get out of there.
But the Gators are they're holding on right now. And they're going to be all in early. But Texas' best thing they could do is come out swinging. All this talk about Arch, Florida plays cover 2. They play a shell coverage. They force you to be patient. Trey Wisner, Texas offensive line. That's the key, not Arch. Run the football, be efficient in the passing game. It's not a game based on the design of the Florida defense where Arch is going to throw for a bunch of yards. Just take what's there and run the football.
Yeah, but that's what they haven't been able to do.
Right.
I think the biggest issue with Texas is the O-line, not necessarily just Arch. I think Arch will come along. When you have a young quarterback, You can't put all the pressure on the quarterback to make all the plays. You got to have balance on offense. You got to be able to run the ball. And I think they'll have a tough time running the ball against Florida, to be honest with you. But I do think Billy has done a really good job in the circumstances that he's in, not losing the team, which I think is really, really important in a game like this.
He did it last year, too.
Yep.
Kept them together.
He's got a weapon coming back today. He's got a freshman wide receiver named Dallas Wilson who let up the spring game. 10 catches, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. Hasn't been able to play this year because of a foot. Napier will have him at his disposal, but there are certainly winds of change that are flowing around Billy Napier right now. Napier fought back last year when it looked as if he was going to lose his job, but already through September, Arkansas, Oklahoma State, UCLA, Virginia Tech all made a change. So if Pete Thamel is back with us, if Billy Napier is going to do his Rasputin act again, you can't kill him. It ought to start today. It would be very helpful to him.
Right, Rece. It'd be disingenuous to say it's a win or else game today for Billy Napier with Texas coming to the Swamp. But sources have certainly indicated an increased sense of urgency for Napier and his future amid this 1-3 start. It's telling, Rece, that a year ago at this time, the notion of an early season firing at Florida was roundly shot down. Sources have indicated that that level of patience has clearly changed. Look, all eyes are on Napier right now. The offense is last in the SEC in scoring, second to last in total yards. Napier is the play caller, and ultimately, he's the one who's overseen the lack of development of DJ Lagway. He's statistically been one of the worst quarterbacks, Rece, in the entire SEC.
And not an easy task against the Texas defense, but look at that number. It's down to 5.5 for a Florida team that hasn't been able to score. We're here at the DoorDash dashboard. It is time for the grab bag. Categories come up. These guys don't know what they are. They give you their knee-jerk reaction and answer. Des, you're up first.
Come, Des. Here we go.
Stop.
Get it started, Des.
Best team in the country.
Wow. Right out the gate.
So last week, we were in Happy Valley.
Okay.
And I said I thought the best team we would see would be the team in white and green.
Quack,
and
quack.
Little yellow, quack, quack. I still think that they're one of the best teams, but man, the best team in the country is Roll Tide.
Why not? Okay, this one is for everybody, so stop. Stop. What is a Costico Pluma Nick Sabanite? Anybody have an answer for that?
Absolutely not.
Hold on. Costa Capluma, what country, what language of origin?
It is this. This is the fossil of a crab found in central Alabama, and the crab fossil was named after Nick Saban.
It's like yesterday, right?
Yeah. This happened just this week. Yeah. Did you know this? Did you know this? You got it wrong. Named after a crab. I said they named the crab. That's a compliment or not.
Hell yeah, dude, you're a crab.
They named the crab after my guy was a SpongeBob.
They named awards. Heisman's got that. Sorry. Yep.
That's all right. No, you're good.
Height. Best SEC quarterback.
He's hurt.
John Mateer is certainly in line to potentially be the best SEC quarterback whenever it's all said and done. Obviously, we don't know how many weeks he's going to be out. Hopefully, he's back for that. Diego Pavia has flipped an entire institution and city into its thing. But I'll tell you what, Des.
Yes, sir.
Just like you said.
Yes, sir.
Ty Simpson is the best. Maybe.
Stop.
Oh.
How many? Penn State.
That's a good one.
Lost to Oregon.
That's the schedule right got here. Yep.
So you got this one, and this one are the three.
Really?
I mean,
Okay.
I think they're going to handle everything else.
Okay.
These three at Iowa, at Ohio State, Indiana.
So the worry is this one right here.
So
You
how
see
many
that?
of these will they lose? That's the question.
That's been the Achilles heel.
I think they lose one more.
Just one.
One more.
Oh, wow.
So 10-2.
10-2.
I'm still a believer.
I think still.
Okay.
Still a believer.
Pretty good.
They're in
Pretty
it.
good.
Me too.
They're in it.
I'm a believer as well.
Stop.
Which team has the best road win? Which team? Oh, man.
Well, first of all, having been at Penn State last week, see the energy and enthusiasm of the whiteout. You have to give Oregon a lot of credit to go in there and have a chance to be successful. They did a great job. Dan Lanning did a great job. The quarterback, Dante Moore, did a great job. But Alabama going to Georgia and beating Georgia at Georgia after a 33-game win streak.
Yeah,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I love that.
I like that.
Here we go, Tony. Stop.
What do you got? What do you got?
Best group of 5 team.
Hey.
Oh, good. At least we got options.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think these guys are legit.
Yep.
They're the front runner.
Yep.
My guy Tony helps us out on the show. He loves North Texas. You know anything about
Master Maker, Thamel loves the quarterback there.
Okay.
Yeah.
America?
I'm going to say Memphis. I got Memphis.
Good pick. I like Memphis too.
You like South Florida?
USF?
They've had a tough schedule.
The quarterback's
USF,
real.
huh?
Yeah, they've had a tough
Okay,
schedule.
this is for everybody. Stop. Would you make a business decision? Oh, you guys are great businessmen.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a business decision.
This guy right here. You got Watch 31.
Hit it right there.
Watch 31.
Hit it right here. I'm hitting right here.
Here he comes.
Right there. I'm taking that calf muscle right there.
I'm the complete opposite. What I did every time I try to tackle somebody, I'm diving right at the big guy's shoulder, maybe the head, and I'm getting spun like John Elway. Full send.
I would hope that we see him in the backfield like Mount Cody at some point.
Hey, buddy, put it in. I was thinking refrigerator Perry myself, but I'm with you. Stop.
Most surprising undefeated team. Okay, we got some options up here. Yeah, I like this.
I am.
Their over-under was 4.5.
Are we really surprised that Vanderbilt's this good, though?
Their over-under was 4.5 coming into the season.
Was it really?
Yes.
But not for us who know football. I'm just saying.
Amen.
This is a good team, great coach, excellent quarterback. I would say Maryland.
Oh.
Maryland.
Who do you like?
Most people can't even tell me who their quarterback is.
You got to
And he's a freshman.
Exactly. His first
They're not even on
Big
here.
Ten game, he had 4 touchdowns. He threw for 3 and ran for 1. Malik Washington.
BYU.
That's a good football team. BYU is a really good football team. They're a very good football team. So is Ohio University.
They in Colorado this week?
Who, BYU?
Yeah.
They won by a lot last night. Didn't cover, though.
What do we got here?
Stop. Who will play in the SEC championship?
Could be Texas A&M and Ole Miss.
That's a good one, bro.
Could be Texas A&M and Ole Miss.
Yeah, Texas A&M, I like him.
Yeah.
I like Elko and the boys down there. I like Ole Miss a lot. Lane Kiffin's got a lot of good vibes going right now. I mean, Oklahoma, depending upon Mateer, they got a really good team.
Texas is still out there.
Could get a big win against Florida today and really go on.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
Missouri. So,
there's a chance Vandy might just run the table. Give me Alabama
Tough
and
one. If Mateer's help.
who's the next one?
Texas A&M.
Okay. Alabama A&M. I like that. Big head versus big.
good job.
Ow.
Good job. Let's make a deal.
All right, let's go one more. This is for everybody, so stop. Want some breakfast? You were just telling me yesterday that about this time you get really hungry.
Very hungry.
Really hungry.
Sabinator.
Very hungry. What do we have?
Here you go.
This is Sabinator.
Oh, you can pass that to them.
You can pass one to me.
Yeah, I'll eat that big apple.
Friends at Message Board Geniuses took a poll. They said today, the fan base most likely to melt down, you guys. Alabama won in a landslide. They're likely to melt down today. But this ups and downs that we see, Nick, sort of part and parcel of the way the game is now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we put way too much emphasis on how you start because really the most important thing is not how you start, it's how you finish. And I think early on you're always going to have some of these measuring stick games where you have to treat winning and losing the same. In other words, you have to continue to teach. If you look at our record in 7 national championships,
No big deal.
only one team went undefeated of all those teams. Wow. So there's going to be some adversity along the way. You got to be able to overcome adversity, but you also have to be able to deal with success. And if you look at the great competitors, whether it's Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, whoever it is, they keep challenging themselves even when they are having success. That's why they won 6 championships or 80 tournaments or whatever. And if you're going to win a gold medal, you got to beat everybody. So that's the mindset you got to have.
But you've talked about how challenging that is in 2025 in this portal, transfer portal, and NIL era. But I think last year is a great barometer, and Ryan just touched on it. It's a 12-team playoff. It's no longer 4 teams. It's 12 teams. Look at the 4 teams that were in the semifinal last year. Ohio State lost their last game to Michigan. Everyone forgot about Ohio State. They won 4 in a row, won it all. Notre Dame lost to Northern Illinois early. They were forgotten about. They make it all the way to the Final Four. Penn State lost a couple games. They obviously end up getting there. So I think, to me, Pat, that's a great reminder because I think fans get they respond to the ebb and flow of their season. But use last year as an indicator. Florida State, as bad as they feel, they're 60 minutes away from everybody saying how great they are. It can change like that.
Absolutely. And with conference realignment, new teams going to new places, there's going to be new rivalries and bigger games on a regular basis. We have a couple handfuls of undefeated teams right now. I think Coach Corso said last year, as he was projecting this new college football playoff setup and everything that was happening, he said the days of an undefeated team are gone. It's going to be very difficult to get through an entire schedule unblemished. And I think this Alabama team, they got their blemish out first week. That's a tough spot to do it as well, because now you got to go on the long haul. Right. And there's a chance, that you get 2 losses like Ohio State had with Oregon earlier in the year. Yeah. Then Michigan, you still get into the dance. But you're going to have to perform if you have more than 1 loss, but still have an opportunity to get in there.
I've played for some great coaches, and they always use losses as motivation for our team. And I think that's what the great ones do. Even last week, when you look at Georgia, Kirby Smart said, I've learned so much from my team in that loss to Alabama. I think we're going to be a better team moving forward. He said because they were hurt. And when you see a team is hurt, he knows that his team is invested. And now use that hurt, use that pain moving forward to go on and run the table and do what you have to do. So to me, losing isn't the end all, but we all know this as former players, as former coaches. You have to get that message to your players, because what happens, they pick up the phone, they start looking at social media, and they get caught up into that ugly scene.
Very true.
That's the biggest problem. You got to make sure you can get your players away from that.
Well, let me correct myself. We had 2 undefeated teams.
No big deal.
But, look, I think the key to the drill is, and I see teams that have a little more maturity, some older guys, some good leadership. That maturity helps them focus on the right things, which I think is really important to getting consistency and success.
Vandy has an example. They have 26 graduates, 47 upperclassmen. Ohio State last year won it all after adversity. Michigan the year before that. Exactly what you're saying. Coaches can only do so much. Yeah. That togetherness of the team, the players, is the key.
We all agree, though, that the state of college ball right now, with being able to lose and still have optimism and hope that you can go on a run, is much better than what it used to be. I was on a team, we lost 1 game, and it was like, nope, no shot, you're over, it's done. It's real. It's real. It's good for ball, I think, the way it is.
100% agree. It creates a lot of interest. It gives you a lot of intrigue. It gives a team that stumbled at the end, like Ohio State, which for much of the year looked like the best team. Really bad game at the end, and then they just crushed everybody.
Fire the coach, get this school out of here. We don't want to do that. And then Saban's up there saying, can we, please, we can still win a national championship. Then they have the greatest run that we've seen through a college football playoff. It's special. It's special stuff.
I was up there the week before they started the playoff, and they were done with Ryan Day. Now they're going to build a statue.
All these people are, so anxious to fire their coach. Yeah. But to me, the consequence of firing a coach right now is so much greater, because the roster is going to change dramatically, and you're going to lose a lot of good players over it. So the rebuild is dramatic.
Yeah. You better have a really good idea who you're going to hire.
Yeah.
Have that vision there. Delighted to be joined by Bill Belichick, head coach at North Carolina. Inside an hour and a half until they take on Clemson. Bill, you guys are coming off an off week. In terms of player development, building the team, what did you hope your team would accomplish, and what did they accomplish during the off week?
We spent a lot of time the first week on fundamentals, and then the second week, obviously, getting ready for Clemson. So we just need to play with more consistency, do the fundamental things better, block, tackle, throw, catch, cover, so forth.
Bill, Nick here, we were together when you probably did one of the most significant things of your career in rebuilding the Cleveland Browns. And it took 4 years for us to get to where we're a playoff team and had a really good football team. Do you see a path forward here at North Carolina in terms of what you think needs to be done so you get to that same point?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a big recruiting class coming in. We missed a couple of recruiting classes from the last 2 years. We only got just a handful of players that are playing. So, we'll get try to build through the recruiting classes and then, supplement that with some, with some transfer guys. But we need a couple good recruiting classes, and I think we're on the way to getting those. So, yeah, excited about it.
Coach, a pre-game on-field interview with you was certainly something we all expected, with Bill Belichick. So we appreciate you doing this and kind of dodging and weaving through the adversity of the technical problems. Since you get to North Carolina, everybody kind of expects you to not want to be at North Carolina. Now you're in the middle of a season. You've gotten a chance to feel college football a little bit. What are your thoughts on the entire college football experience for you as a head coach down there at UNC?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I love working with the kids. I love watching them develop, both as kids and people and players. They've gotten a lot better. They've worked really hard. And I'm excited to do that with, more young guys coming in here. The support from the school has been great. Chancellor Roberts and his staff. So, it's going to be a little bit of a process, but we're grinding away. We're definitely getting a lot better each week, and I'm sure we'll get better each year here.
Hey, Coach, just to ask you about the transition from all those years in the NFL. I know you watched the college game, but now to live it, what was your perception of what it would be like to run an organization in college, and what's maybe been the biggest difference now that it's a reality and you've been a part of it here for the first 6 weeks of a season?
The coaching part of it's pretty similar. I'd say just the volume of recruiting is a lot. We had in the month of June alone, we had 4,000 kids on this campus, and the number of kids that you recruit, we had free agency in the NFL. Well, that was easy because you knew which guys' contracts were going to expire. The transfer portal could be any of 4,000 or however many kids are playing college football. Every team's got 100 players, and you don't know which ones are going to be on it and which ones aren't. So just the volume of players is a lot bigger. But, Mike Lombardi and his staff have done a good job of working through that and staying on top of it. So, we've had some good transfer kids in, but hopefully it'll be fewer of those going forward as our recruiting classes get better. And, as we get a recruiting class, we haven't had one yet.
Hey, Coach, it's Desmond Howard. Thanks for doing this. I wanted to ask you about a couple of your players, Jordan Shipp and Chris Culliver. What do these guys bring to the offense?
Both young players that have a lot of upside, work hard, and, have gotten a lot better in terms of their route running and technique as receivers. We'll see if there's a Desmond Howard in this group, but these guys have improved a lot, and, hopefully we'll have a big day today.
Love it, love it. Hey, Coach, sitting here with Coach Saban in Tuscaloosa, Alabama at Saban Field. What's one of your great stories of you and Coach going back to the day when you guys were young bucks coming up in the coaching ranks?
Well, I learned an awful lot from Coach Saban. We came from different defensive systems, and we merged them together in Cleveland. And, I learned a lot from him about man-to-man coverage, which we didn't play a lot of at New York. And, the 4-3 defense, which, he played at Michigan State and Toledo. So, it was a great experience, watching Nick handle the free agents and recruit and build a program at Alabama. I'm very grateful for the relationship that I have with him and all the things that I've learned from him. He's the best that's ever done it. And like I said, it's a real honor for me to just be with him for, those 4 years and to have our relationship and friendship be almost, lifelong in this career.
Yeah, well, I never thought in all the time we've been friends that I'd ever say that you're full of shit, but I learned a lot more. I learned a lot more from you than you ever learned from me.
That's not true. That is simply not true.
Hey, Coach Belichick, let me tell you a story that is true. Did you know that Coach Saban here, young Nicky, was leaving at 2 a.m. while you guys were still grinding at film at the Cleveland Browns? I don't want to spoil any news right now.
Hey, I'll tell you, nobody worked harder than Nick did, both on the field and in evaluation of players in the spring and everything. He looked at every single guy from every nose tackle to every corner that was on the draft board. And, his evaluations, probably counted more than anybody's did. So, a lot of the players that we drafted there, some of the, the guys like Eric Turner's and, guys like that, he had a big hand in that. And he's a great recruiter and a great evaluator. You could see what he did at Alabama. I'm sure he had more number one draft choices and more NFL players than any other team did. So a record speaks for itself.
Bill, we wish you well today against Clemson. We appreciate you taking time and being patient, and look forward to watching your team play today.
Oh, thanks. Great to be on with you guys. Have a good one. Be another exciting day in college football. Thank you.
See you,
No doubt about it. There, Coach.
You want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you. Run fast while you have the chance.